Chapter 43. And it came to pass that when Jeremiah had made an end of speaking unto all the people all the words of the Lord their God, for which the Lord their God had sent to them, even all these words, then spake Azariah the son of Hoshaiah, and Johanan the son of Kareah, and all the proud men, saying unto Jeremiah, Thou speakest falsely. The Lord our God hath not sent thee to say, Go not into Egypt to sojourn there. But Baruch the son of Neriah setteth thee on against us, for to deliver us into the hand of the Chaldeans, that they might put us to death and carry us away captive to Babylon. So Johanan the son of Kareah and all the captains of the forces and all the people obeyed not the voice of the Lord to dwell in the land of Judah. But Johanan the son of Kareah and all the captains of the forces took all the remnant of Judah that were returned from all nations, whither they had been driven, to dwell in the land of Judah, even men and women and children and the king's daughters, and every person that Nebuzaradan the captain of the guard had left with Gedaliah the son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, and Jeremiah the prophet, and Baruch the son of Neriah. So they came into the land of Egypt, for they obeyed not the voice of the Lord. Thus came they even to Tahpanhes. Then came the word of the Lord unto Jeremiah to Tahpanhes, and said, Take great stones in thy hand, and hide them in the clay in the brick kiln, which is at the entry of Pharaoh's house in Tahpanhes, in the sight of the men of Judah, and say unto them, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Behold, I will send and take Nebuchadnezzar the king of Babylon, my servant, and I will set his throne upon these stones that I have hid, and he shall spread his royal pavilion over them. And when he cometh, he shall smite the land of Egypt, and deliver such as are for death to death, and such as are for captivity to captivity, and such as are for the sword to the sword. And I will kindle a fire in the houses of the gods of Egypt, and he shall burn them and carry them away captives, and he shall array himself with the land of Egypt as a shepherd putteth on his garment, and he shall go forth from thence in peace. He shall break also the images of Beth-shemesh, that is in the land of Egypt, and the houses of the gods of the Egyptians shall he burn with fire. Chapter 43. Now, after Jeremiah makes an end of telling the people the message he got from the Lord, Azariah and Johanan, the son of Kareah, and all the proud men basically give this message to Jeremiah. Thou speakest falsely, in verse 2. The Lord our God hath not sent thee to say, Go not into Egypt. Then they accused Baruch, the son of Neriah, of turning Jeremiah against these men, and that they want to persuade them to stay so they can be carried away captive into Babylon. And so they would not. They obeyed not the voice, chapter 4, verse 4, they obeyed not the voice of the Lord to dwell. But they all took the remnant of Judah, and they went to Egypt. And they went to a place which in Hebrew here is Tahpanhes. I think I'm pronouncing that reasonably close. But that was a city on the east, one of the eastern tributaries of the delta part of the Nile River, and we believe that that was actually Tanis, the city of Tanis, which was where the Pharaoh had a castle, a palace. And Jeremiah is told something. Verse 8. Then came the word of the Lord unto Jeremiah, I'll just say in Tanis, saying, Take great stones in thy hand, and hide them in the clay in the brick kiln. The word brick kiln is not properly translated. It should mean brick work, which is a brick platform, which is at the entry of Pharaoh's house in Tanis. Tanis was the royal capital, and that's where the Pharaoh's house would be. And so obviously at this point in time it was being built. At least the brickwork out the front was being built. And he did it in the sight of all Judah. And he said, Thus saith the Lord of hosts. So they would understand that long before it happened, that he knew what was coming. I will send and take Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, and will set his throne upon these stones which I have hid. In other words, the brickwork, which was sort of like a large patio, a large area that was out in front of the palace where the king could sit, have his throne, and do whatever business he wanted to do with the people, and be surrounded by all of his people around him on the brickwork instead of on sand or on the dirt. And he will set his throne upon these stones which I have hid, and he shall spread his royal pavilion over them. In the 1870s, William Petries Flinders, an archaeologist, British archaeologist, found that brickwork and determined that it was in fact out in front of one of the king's palaces at the time. And Nebuchadnezzar basically captured Egypt. So Jeremiah, of course, again knew what he was talking about.